My name is Art Gordon. I am a member of Spark Boston. I serve as the neighborhood captain for Roxbury. And I have the esteemed honor of introducing our keynote speaker, Mr. Jay Williams. So our keynote speaker for this evening is Mr. Jay Williams. Jay is an award-winning filmmaker and arts advocate, earning accolades young vision in the media industry. He is a graduate of the Emerson College here in Boston and is proud to call Boston home. 2008, Williams founded Forever Inc. Productions to showcase the arts and film industry here in Boston, and educate the community and support the endeavors of other artists of all kinds. His monthly series, The Real Life Experience, blends the cocktail hour experience with the creative energy of live performance, art, and film. The Real Life Experience gives audiences from all walks of life an opportunity to indulge in the creative gifts of the many cultures that surround us here in the city of Boston. Jay believes in the importance of community, and it is community that has given him the courage to pursue a career in the film industry. Jay is dedicated to helping inspire young entrepreneurs in the community to develop their potential and chase their dreams, just as he himself is doing. We're thrilled to have Jay here tonight to share his personal impact story with us. So please join me in welcoming Jay Williams to the stage.
How y'all doing tonight? That was kind of weak. How y'all doing tonight? Firstly, I want to thank Spark Boston and Mass Challenge for giving me the opportunity to speak to you all tonight. It's truly an honor. So, tonight, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. I'm going to be open and vulnerable. Is that all right with y'all? I grew up in a household where many would consider my parents old school. They came from a generation where children were to be seen and not heard, a generation where the streetlights were used as more than just to see at night, but an indication that it was time to go home before mom had to come look for you. Our independence as children went as far as we could hear the music playing from the record player my pops had blasting in the living room, spilling into the streets of our neighborhood. This experience laid the foundation of my creativity and being stifled for a time. I was never able to voice my opinion or ask questions that were outside of my homework assignments. I had to take what my parents said as gospel for fear of being reprimanded for trying to be too grown. From a young age, I was conditioned to keep my thoughts to myself. My limitations were set by the timer on the streetlights or how far I could go away from the house, to where I could no longer hear the voice of Stevie Wonder's Golden Lady playing in the distance. Imagination and curiosity were curbed and replaced with hard work, good grades, and sports. In the summer of 2004, my life changed forever. Due to financial reasons, I had to leave Morehouse College in Atlanta and come back to Boston to find out that my parents had separated and my mother and younger sister had moved out the house where I grew up and left for her hometown in Chicago. In addition to dealing with those challenges, and still just 20 years old, I found out I was going to be a father. I felt the weight of the world on my shoulders. It had nothing left to push through. I was depressed, broken, and in many ways disappointed in some of my decisions that I had made in my life. In spite of that, there was still a piece of me that wanted more. I wanted to be better for my family, my child. I wanted to be better for me. I didn't want to be another kid on the street that didn't see his own potential. From that moment, From that moment, I realized that sometimes you have to get knocked down lower than you've ever been so that you can stand up taller than you ever were. With that being said, I made it my life's mission to share and express my curiosity and to challenge what I do not agree with or understand. I was not going to be that child restricted and bound anymore. Storytelling became my muse, and giving other young artists a platform to share their gifts became my passion. My first film, titled Forever Inc., served as the starting point in developing my craft as a filmmaker and a true confidence builder. My film and its success made me feel like it was okay to be creatively curious. The film's title has been a theme in my life for quite some time now. Forever Inc. serves as a catalyst for me. The ink is your talent, your gift, your passion. It has been given to us to share so loudly and proudly that no man or woman, dead or alive, can do it better, and in the process, you create your legacy. That is the forever piece. So whether I'm organizing a charity event for a local arts organization, directing a film, or I'm in a community center in Dorchester, teaching young children how to write a script, or teaching graduate students digital storytelling, my gift is not mine to keep. It's mine to share. And over time, it means that I'm creating a legacy to pass on to the next generation. From my recent experiences and creative curiosity, I have explored and now embrace this idea of we. From film sets to creating advertising campaigns, I've learned to appreciate the art of collaboration. I'm here to challenge you all to embrace this principle as well and put the idea of I on the shelf. You may say to yourself, what do you mean? Here's what it means to embrace the idea of we. Yes, you may walk this stage in a few minutes as an individual, and when you were in school, you wrote papers, studied for exams, and you sat in classrooms as an individual. But the reality of all that individual work is that what we've all learned has been about what someone else spoke about what someone else wrote, about what someone else created in order for us to absorb, perceive, and experience. That experience from the teachings and musings and interactions of others is what inspires us to create on our own and then to share and pass on. So I would argue that we're all here today because of many. Simply put, none of us would be here without a collaboration of love. Our mothers could not have a child without our fathers and vice versa. We were made to work with and appreciate one another, and such sentiment needs admission of its truth. Oftentimes, we fail to remember such sentiment, but it takes just a moment to remember that we need one another to ensure our own successes. Our teachers, our professors, our mentors, our parents, our family, our friends, strangers, and life experiences have all played an integral role in the growth as entrepreneurs, as community builders, artists, and activists, but more importantly, our growth as humans. With the creation of social media, we are more connected to each other than ever before. Yet many of us perceive much of someone else's accomplishments as their own, when in fact, it has taken, at the very least, one person to inspire them to be better, to be greater, to be phenomenal. That one person should be appreciated and acknowledged. Realistically, that one person could be you. No, it is you tonight. Award or no award. You all are here because you were inspired, and now it's your turn to continue to inspire, to share with us and to those that have inspired us, because they too need appreciation and acknowledgement. And the best way we can do that is by embracing the fact that our impact is the us that makes this city as amazing as it is. So before I leave you tonight, I want to share a quick story about an anthropologist that had been studying the habits and customs of a tribe in Africa. So this anthropologist had been working all day, and when he finished his work, he had to wait for a ride that would take him to the airport to return home. His work was finally complete. He'd always been surrounded by the children of the tribe, so to help pass the time before he left, he proposed a game for the children to play. He bought lots of candies and sweets into the city, so he put everything in a basket with a beautiful ribbon attached. He placed it under a solitary tree, and then he called the kids together, and he drew a line on the ground and explained they should wait behind the line for his signal. And then when he said go, they should rush over to the basket, and the first to arrive would win all the candy. But when he said go, they all unexpectedly held each other's hands and ran off towards a tree as one group. Once there, they simply shared the candy with each other and happily ate it. The anthropologist was very surprised. He asked them why they had gone all together, especially if the first one to arrive at the tree could have won everything in the basket, all the candy. A young girl simply replied, Ubuntu. How can one of us be happy if all others are sad? In case you missed it. How can one of us be happy if all others are sad? The anthropologist was dumbfounded. For months and months, he had been studying this tribe, yet it was only on this day of the candy game that he really understood their true essence. Archbishop Desmond Tutu describes the concept of Ubuntu as the essence of being human. It embraces hospitality, caring about others, and being willing to go the extra mile for the sake of another. He stated, "We believe that a person is a person through other persons, that my humanity is caught up, bound up, inextricably with yours. When I dehumanize you, I dehumanize myself. The solitary human being is a contradiction in terms. Therefore, you seek to work for the common good because of your humanity comes into its own in community and belonging." So if this world is to become a better place, it is not I that can fix it. In fact, it is not you that can fix it. It is us. We must be the change we want to see. We need to understand the importance of being an example. Ashley Zahabian so eloquently said that being an example is not just the main variable that influences people. It's the only variable. 12 years later, I now stand before you and in front of my daughter. A man who has overcome many challenges, but none of them without the help of others. Now, a father of two, I have even more motivation to inspire and be inspired. So, I encourage you all to think less about the I and focus more on the we. and see how far that takes us. How much we can accomplish. Because in the end, all we have is us. So let's act like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jay, for that inspiring speech. And I think it's, with the social climate in this country, it's ever more important that we have that type of message of unity and of strength.